the 23rd day of the fourth regular session of the 22nd conference will now come to order. May we all bow our heads for a moment of silent prayer. Okay, Chief Clerk. Roll call.
Senator Aridos,
Yes.
Senator Christian, Senator Figueroa,
Yes.
Senator Colon, Floor Leader Harper, Senator Conman,
Yes.
Vice Speaker Moses, Senator Net, Senator Palag,
Yes.
Senator Perman, Senator Romalo,
Am I?
Senator Urusamal.
I'm here, Chief Clerk. Thank you.
Thank you. Senator Wali,
Yes.
Speaker Simena.
Yes,
Mr. Speaker, 12 members are present.
we do have a quorum to transact business today. Okay, reading of the journal, Floor Leader.
Move to dispense with the reading of the journal.
Second,
It's been moved and seconded that we dispense with the reading of our journal. Those in favor say aye. Opposed, nay.
Aye.
Motion carried. We now dispense with the reading of the journal. Next item, Chief Clerk.
Item number 5, presidential communications, none at the moment, Mr. Speaker.
Next item.
Item 6, some Supreme Court communications, none also, Mr. Speaker.
Next item.
Item 7, member communications, none, Mr. Speaker.
Next item.
Item 8, departmental communications, we have one and it's number 22-36.
Okay, assign that communication members read up on those reports. Those are the ones we demanded by law that they submit. So albeit it's submitted somewhat later, but at least we have something to review. Okay, next item.
Item number 9, agency or governmental authority communications, none, Mr. Speaker.
Continue.
Item 10, state communications, none. Item 11, state Supreme Court communications, none, Mr. Speaker. Item number 12, municipal or town communications, none. Item number 13, foreign government communications, none, Mr. Speaker. And item number 14, miscellaneous communications, none also, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, thank you. Vice Chairman Christian, there are no more foreign communications from your friend, so I guess he also watched your statement. Okay, we're now on our order of the day. Item 15, standing committee reports. Chief Clerk, do we have any?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker. We have an awaiting list, number 22-24 for standing committee reports awaiting the 24 hours requirement.
Okay, short recess. Or you want members to Let's go back. Congress is back in session. We're still on the standing committee reports calendar. There is that awaiting list. Chairman Perman,
Thank you. Good morning to you and members and all of those that are observing. Mr. Speaker, I would like to withdraw and place Standing Committee Report number 22-37. I so move.
Second.
Second.
moved and seconded that standing committee report number 22-37 be placed on the standing committee reports calendar for action. For Leader Harbert,
Move to suspend the 24-hour requirements.
any second?
Second.
Has been moved and seconded that the relevant rules, specifically the rules requiring 24 awaiting period for standing committee reports be suspended. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. The relevant rules are now suspended. Let's vote on the main motion. Those in favor of the motion to place standing committee report 22-37 on the standing committee report calendar for action, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Said standing committee report is now placed on the standing committee reports calendar for action. What is it about, Clerk?
Yes, Mr. Speaker, Standing Committee Report number 22-37 is regarding the FY 2023 recommended budget for the Committee on Health and Social Affairs.
Chairman Perman,
Yeah, motion to adopt the said Standing Committee Report.
Second.
Second.
it's been moved and seconded that Congress adopt standing committee report 22-37. Discussion. Any discussion by members?
Speaker, just a short, small question.
Proceed.
I'm even embarrassed to ask the committee that I am a member of. But are there in the report reference to compact grants, Mr. Chairman?
Thank you, Chairman of E. No, no, there's no compact.
Huh?
Okay,
It's
back in session. We're still discussing the report. Any further discussion?
Question.
Question has been called for. Without objection, discussion is closed. Let's vote. Those in favor of the adoption of standing committee report number 22-37, say aye.
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 Motion carried. Said report is adopted by Congress. Next report, Chief Clerk.
Mr. Speaker, we do not have any more standing committee reports.
Okay. That's the case. There being no further business under the item 15. Let's go down to item 16, special committee reports. Do we have any, Chief Clerk?
None, Mr. Speaker.
Okay. Next item.
For item number 17, assignment of measures and communications, please refer to referral sheet number 22-76.
Okay, Chairman, members, review that for your planning purposes. Next item.
Item number 18, unfinished business, none, Mr. Speaker.
All right. The next item is item 19. That's the bill calendar. First bill.
The first bill under the bill calendar now is Congressional Bill number 22-148 CD2 for second and final reading. CB number 22-148 CD2 is a bill for an act to amend Title 50 of the Code of the Federated States of Micronesia, annotated, by creating a new Chapter 3 to establish the FSMLD Border Protection Act of 2022 to require all persons entering the country to be fully COVID-19 vaccinated, require the establishment of COVID-19 entry requirements by regulation, impose penalties where fraudulent COVID-19 vaccination documents are used to enter the country, and for other purposes.
Chairman Permit.
Move to pass the said bill second and final
Second.
reading.
It has been moved and seconded that Congress pass on second and final reading CB number 22-148 CT2. Discussion.
Speaker,
Any discussion? Yes.
Yes, Speaker.
Who's that?
here.
Oh, Chairman Perman, yes, please.
Yeah, thank you, Speaker. You know, yesterday I asked to be excused so I can meet up with Palm Beach State to get their feedback on the bill itself. And the meeting went really well. We met up from the national government and myself, acting Secretary of Health. Sadly, there's nobody from the Justice Department of Justice, but from Pohnpei, who showed up was the chairman of the task force, Norlin, the chairman of health from the state legislature, Brian Etchites, Jayan Go, Steve Edwin, and the acting AG, Chuda Johnny. We all met yesterday, and first thing we did, we handed over the bill, the proposed bill, for them to take a look at it. And not to prolong this bill, the discussion of this bill, the feedback was first from the acting AG, Chuda Johnny, which after the look at when we put the amendment in there to have them involved in setting up of the regulation, having people get here. And one of their main reasons is because of the capacity they have with the quarantine, and if there's a local transmission or a community, for them to know how to react. So according to the acting AG, he actually his comment on the which very good, on the bill itself, and coming from the two senators from the state legislature also in favor with what the proposed bill, and also the chairman of the task force, which he said that even August 1st it's about good because they really wanted to make sure that there's a guideline set up before immediately. So they're worried about flock of people coming into Pohnpei or the FSM. They can be ready for it. So again, it was a good response from the state of Pohnpei, which they accepted they approved the proposed legislation in favor of the proposed legislation. So that was the outcome of the meeting yesterday. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much, Chairman Berman, for undertaking that role of being the peacemaker for this particular issue between our state and national task forces or offices. Thank you for the explanation of what happened. Let's hope things will work out in the future. Any other discussion?
Speaker,
Vice Chairman Palik?
thank you very much, Speaker. Good morning again to you and everyone. Along the same line, I want to also share with members that yesterday we received a written formal communication from the state leadership on this matter. They reviewed the bill and in general support it. And two concerns they raised. One is on the roles and responsibilities of the Justice Department and Health, especially the Secretary of Health. And second issue is on the need of assistance, whether it's financial, technical, or otherwise, at the state level once and if this bill becomes law. On the first issue, and anyway, they reviewed the original bill. The CD1 148 CD1 incorporates many of those amendments or changes that address those issues. So we provided a copy of that. They read it. They're satisfied. We also made it clear that this has been a concern for Congress with respect to responsibilities of those two departments. And we emphasize that the role of justice is primarily to enforce the regulations, which will be spearheaded by the Secretary of Health. And I think they understand that. We also shared that there is constitutional issue with respect to national power in relation to immigration. And that's why we see a lot of reference to Department of Justice, because they're involved, they're responsible for immigration for this nation. So general feedback, we provided the amended version and they're very satisfied. So that leaves the remaining issue. They're on record that we will need, as we delegate more of these responsibilities and burden to the states and all the states, that they hope that Congress will stand ready, or the national government will stand ready to support them at the implementation state. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Vice Chairman Palik. Chairman Usman. Short recess, Mr. Chair. Bill 22-148 CD2. Any discussion? Yes, Chairman.
Yeah, I've read the bill. I still have some concern on some parts of the bill. And I would like, if it's okay with everybody, that we defer action on the bill to tomorrow. I need to clarify some things with some parts of the bill with the LC and others. And one is the prospect of conflict between the state and the national on the CQA, the immigration issue.
Okay.
If
There's
it would,
there's
I like,
a request from the Chairman Figueroa. Any other
Oh,
discussion?
that's what the meeting was about, Joe. You went to ask Senator Figueroa to move to defer to tomorrow, when we could defer it to the end of the calendar.
No, we talk about it and we came up with that.
Short recess. Short
Okay,
recess.
okay.
Okay. Conference is back in session. We're still discussing the bill 22-148. Chairman Berman,
Yeah, thank you. Due to the understanding during recess, I'll motion to defer action on CP 22-148 to tomorrow's session.
Second.
that's been moved and seconded that CP number 22-148 CT2 be deferred to tomorrow's session. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. CB 22-148 CT2 is deferred to tomorrow's session. Next bill, Chief Hurd.
The next bill under the bill calendar now is Congressional Bill number 22-194 for second and final reading. CB number 22-194 is a bill for an act to further amend Public Law number 19-10 as amended by Public Laws numbers 19-26, 19-42, 19-51, 19-56, 19-72, 19-78, 19-96, 19-132, 19-163, 20-03, 20-25, 20-58, 20-76, 20-116, 21-29, 21-64, 21-196, and 22-10 by amending Section 6 thereof to extend the lapse date of funds previously appropriated therein for the purpose of funding public projects and social programs in the states of Pohnpei and Chuuk and for other purposes.
Chairman Figueroa.
Move for the passage of the bill on second and final reading.
Second. 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 Hello, second.
Third, second. Speaker, you're no sound.
Short recess.
You're okay now. You're okay.
Congress is back in session. It's been moved and seconded that Congress pass on second and final reading, CP number 22-194. Discussion, short recess. Chairman Romano, I have Congress is back in session. We're discussing CP 22-194. Chairman Romano.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I wish to offer a floor amendment on behalf of Speaker Simena, and it's been linked and as for its adoption.
And a second.
Second.
Moved and seconded that the offered for amendment to CP 22-194 be adopted because of its length. We will dispense with its reading. Auditor Harbor,
Move to suspend the rule that prohibit substantive amendment on second reading.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that there are all relevant rules, specifically the rules prohibiting substantive amendments on second and final reading be suspended. Those in favor say aye. Opposed, no.
Aye.
Carried. Okay, the relevant rules are now suspended. Let's vote on the main motion. Let's discuss the main motion. Any discussion on the other four amendment? If none, there's no objection. Discussion is closed. We will vote. Those in favor of the adoption of the offer for amendment to CP 22-194, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. The offer for amendment to CP 22-194 is adopted. We now have CT1. Any further discussion on CD1? Discussion? If none,
Question.
there's no objection. Discussion is closed. We will vote by roll call of the delegations. Chief Clerk?
For the state of Chuk, Chairman Aritas.
Yes.
State of Pohnpei, Chairman Perman. State of Koshai, Chairman Wali.
Yes.
State of Yap, Chairman Urusamal.
Amen.
Mr. Speaker, all four states voted for the said bill under second and final reading.
CP number 22-194 CT1 has passed conference on the second and final reading. Next bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The next bill under the bill calendar now is Congressional Bill number 22-195 for second and final reading. CB number 22-195 is a bill for an act to further amend Public Law number 20-178 as amended by Public Laws numbers 21-01, 21-07, 21-36, 21-53, 21-56, 21-102, 21-115, 21-165, 21-178, 21-200, 21-218, 21-226, 21-249, 22-27, 22-63, 22-73, and 22-82 by amending Section 6 thereof to change the lapse date of funds previously appropriated therein to fund public projects and social programs for the people of Yap, Koshai, Pohnpei, and Chuk states, and for other purposes.
Chairman Figueroa.
Thank you, Speaker. I move for the passage of the bill on second and final reading.
Okay.
Second.
Has been moved and seconded that Congress pass on second and final reading. CP number 22-195. Discussion. Short recess. Conference second session, we're discussing CP 22-195. Chairman Romano.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Again, I wish to offer a floor amendment on behalf of Speaker Simina, and it's been linked and move for its adoption.
Second,
It has been moved and seconded that the offered for amendment to CP 22-195 be adopted. Because of its length, we will dispense with its reading. The relevant rules are still suspended up to this point. Discussion on the offered for amendment. If none, there's no objection. Discussion is closed. Let's vote. Those in favor of the adoption of the offer for amendment to CP number 22-195, say aye.
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 Carried. The offer for amendment to CP 22-195 is adopted. We have CD1. Any further discussion on CD1? Discussion, if none, without objection. Discussion is closed. We will vote by roll call of the delegations. Deferred.
For the state of Chuk, Chairman Aritas.
Yes.
For the state of Pohnpei, Chairman Perman. State of Koshai, Chairman Wali.
Yes.
State of Yap, Chairman Uruzamal.
aye.
Mr. Speaker, all four states voted for the said bill under second and final reading.
CP number 22-195, CD1 has passed Congress on second and final reading. Next bill.
The next bill under the bill calendar is Congressional Bill number 22-207 CD2 for second and final reading. CB number 22-207 CD2 is a bill for an act to further amend Section 805 of Title 54 of the Code of the Federated States of Micronesia annotated as amended by Public Laws numbers 18-107, 21-152, and 22-57 to authorize on an extraordinary basis the Pohnpei State's share of the extra 20% of net taxes collected during fiscal year 2023 be remitted to fuel wholesalers for the purpose of providing a fuel subsidy to Pohnpei residents and for other purposes.
Short recess.
Short recess.
Yeah, we're in recess. Congress is back in session. We're discussing CP 22-207 CD2.
Speaker,
Here,
I move to defer action on the bill to tomorrow's session bill calendar.
Second.
okay, it's been moved and seconded that CP 22-207 CD2 be deferred to tomorrow's session. Those in favor say aye. Opposed, nay.
Aye.
Motion carried. Said bill is deferred to tomorrow's session. Next bill, Chief Clerk.
The next bill under the bill calendar now is Congressional Bill number 22-210 for second and final reading. CB number 22-210 is a bill for an act to further amend Public Law number 22-86 as amended by Public Laws numbers 22-101, 22-102, and 22-106 by amending Section 5 thereof to change the use of funds previously appropriated therein for the purpose of funding priority infrastructure projects and other public projects and social programs for the people of Chuk State and for other purposes.
Okay, Chairman Figure.
Move for the passage of the said bill on second and final reading.
Second.
Again.
It's been moved and seconded that Congress pass on second and final reading CP number 22-210. Discussion.
Speaker.
Yes, Chairman Romulo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Again, I wish to offer a floor amendment on behalf of Speaker Simina, and it's been linked, and I move for its adoption.
Again.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that the offer for amendment to CP number 22-210 by Speaker Simina be adopted. The relevant rules are still suspended. Chief Clerk, can you please read that into the title? I mean,
Yes, Yes, Mr. Speaker, we now have a floor amendment to Congressional Bill number 22-210 offered by Speaker Wesley Simina. Item 1, page 1, line 9, delete the figure 385,000 and insert the figure 370,000 in lieu thereof. Item 2, page 1, line 10, delete 385,000 and insert 370,000 in lieu thereof. Item number 3, page 2, between lines 12 and 13, insert the following: subsection N, Chuk Women Council, 30,000.
Okay, discussion on the
Mr. Speaker,
amendment. Yes,
would you please state for the record what other purposes you want to use this money for?
political ones, but I guess I cannot say them out here. Okay.
Yeah, Speaker, I already also have,
So let's finish up discussing the, if there's no further discussion, without objection, discussion is closed. We will vote. Those in favor of adoption of the Arbor Amendment to CP 22-210 by Speaker Simina, say aye.
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 Nay. Motion carried. The Arbor Amendment to CP 22-210 is adopted by Congress. We have CD1. Continue discussion on CD1.
yes, Speaker.
Chairman,
Yes, thank you, Speaker. I will be offering another floor amendment by Vice Speaker, on behalf of Vice Speaker Esmond Moses. Copy been made and distributed. It's, I so move for its adoption.
Second.
Again.
it's been moved and seconded that the offer for amendment to CP 22-10 CT1 by Vice Speaker Moses be adopted. Because of its length, we will dispense with its reading, and the relevant rules are still suspended up to this point. So discussion on the offer for amendment. Discussion. Question has been called for. If there is no objection, discussion is closed. We will vote. Those in favor of the adoption of the offer for amendment to CP 22-10 by Vice Speaker Moses, say aye.
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 Nay. Motion carried. The offer for amendment by Vice Speaker Moses is adopted. We now have CP2. Any further discussion on CP2?
Speaker,
Yes, who's that?
yes, Speaker, motion to defer action on the said bill to tomorrow's session.
Okay. Short recess. We're still. Motion, any second to that motion?
Yes.
So it's been moved and seconded that CP number 22-10 CT2 be deferred to tomorrow's session. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. CP 22-10 CT2 is deferred to tomorrow's session. Next bill.
Mr. Speaker, we now have Congressional Act number 22-102 on Presidential Communication number 22-257 for a veto override or repassage.
Okay, Chairman Figueroa.
Thank you, Speaker. I move for the repassage of the said act.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that Congress repass Congressional Act number 22-102 over the president's item veto. Okay, short recess.
As president,
Congress is back in session. We're discussing the motion for repassage. Any discussion?
Question.
Question has been called for without objection. Discussion is closed. We will vote by roll call of the delegations. Requires at least 3 of the 4 states to vote in affirmative. Chief Clerk.
For the state of Chuk, Chairman Aritos.
Yes.
State of Pohnpei, Chairman Perman. State of Koshai, Chairman Wali.
Yes.
State of Yap, Chairman Rozumal.
twice.
Mr. Speaker, all 4 states voted for the said Congressional Act.
The item vetoed by the president of Congressional Act number 22-102 has been repassed and overridden by Congress. Okay, next bill.
We do not have any more bills, Mr. Speaker.
Short recess. is back in session. There being no further business under the calendar, we will now go down to our item 20, resolution calendar. Chairman Berman.
Yeah, thank
have
you,
the floor.
Mr. Speaker. Would like to withdraw and place the following resolutions. CR number 22-91, 22-104, 22-107, 22-112, 22-117, 22-119, 22-120, 22-121, 22-122, and 22-132. I so move.
Any second? Any second?
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that the following resolutions be withdrawn from committee and placed on the resolution calendar for action. 22-91, 104, 107, 112, 117, 119, 120, 121, 122, and 132. Those in favor of the motion say aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carried. All those resolutions so enumerated, mentioned are withdrawn from committees and placed on the resolution calendar for action. Okay, let's give Chief Clerk a moment. Short recess. Link them, Chief Clerk. Congress is back in session. We're still on the resolution calendar. Chairman Rishima, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I also have two resolutions that I wish to place on today's resolution calendar for action.
Go ahead.
It's CR number 22-110 and CR number 22-133. I so move.
Second. Moved and seconded that these two resolutions, 22-110 and 22-133 be withdrawn from committees and placed on the resolution calendar for action. Those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Those two resolutions have been withdrawn from committee and placed on the resolution calendar for action. Short recess. Clerk is here. Those Congress is back in session. We have now all those resolutions placed. For the record, 22-91 has been taken out as a technical matter. It's already adopted by Congress previous session. Okay. So first resolution, Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The first resolution under the resolution calendar now is Congressional Resolution number 22-104 for adoption. CR number 22-104 is a resolution approving and accepting a grant from the United Nations Children's Fund or UNICEF in the amount of $2,494,075 to fund the implementation of the Federated States of Micronesia UNICEF Program of Cooperation 2021 to 2022 Rolling Work Plan, including all the terms and conditions of the assistance.
Chairman Barrett.
Move to adopt the said resolution.
Moved and seconded that Congress adopt resolution number 22-104. Discussion. Any discussion? Chairman Rishima.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Mr. Speaker and Chairman, may I move for a short recess? I move.
Short recess subject to call of the chair.
Question.
None. If there's no objection, discussion is closed. Let's vote. Those in favor of the adoption of resolution 22-104, aye. Opposed, nay.
Aye.
Motion carried. Resolution number 22-104 is adopted by Congress. Next resolution, Chief Clerk.
The next resolution under the resolution calendar is Congressional Resolution number 22-107 for adoption. CR number 22-107 is a resolution approving and accepting a grant in the amount of $250,000 from the United States Department of Health and Human Services Administration for Children and Families to fund the personnel responsibility education program, including all the terms and conditions of the assistance.
So
Chairman,
moved.
second. It has been moved and seconded that Congress adopt resolution number 22-107. Discussion. Third resist. Back in session. Congress back in session. Any further discussion on? the-
Question.
Question has been called for without objection. Discussion is closed. Let's vote. Those in favor of the adoption of resolution 22-107, say aye.
Aye.
Nay.
Aye.
Motion carried. Resolution 22-107 is adopted by Congress. Next resolution, Chief Clerk.
The next resolution under the resolution calendar is Congressional Resolution number 22-112 for adoption. CR number 22-112 is a resolution approving and accepting a grant from the World Health Organization, or WHO, to the Federated States of Micronesia in the amount of $1,539,000 to support the FSM health priority areas based upon the FSM WHO Country Cooperation Strategy 2018 to 2022, including all the terms and conditions of the assistance.
Chairman,
Move to adopt the said resolution.
And a second. Has been moved and seconded that Congress adopt resolution number 22-112. Discussion. Any discussion?
Speaker,
Who's that? Vice Chairman Palik.
yes, thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I wish to make a couple observations regarding this resolution. One of the purposes to, as stated here, funding to cover universal health coverage. And if you look at the allocation of this fund, I cannot see where that commitment is made. I have tremendous concern in how these funds are allocated, especially towards high priority needs of this nation, and especially the states. So I wish to register again my concern on the need for the national government to collaborate and coordinate these funds with the state governments. There are areas of needs and that the state could surely benefit from these types of funding. But as far as national government is concerned, we passed a resolution on universal health coverage, and little has happened or moved in that area. And I thought that this was the funding that would allocate significant amount to move this program forward. So again, I wish to raise this along with my concern on the need for us to get report from health department on these programs. One of the reasons that I really wanted to get that report before we review this resolution is to determine how this, funding works in accordance with our priorities. We haven't received those reports from health department, not only on, I think the resolution requires report on all the grants received by health department. So I want to mention that for the record also.
Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker. That's my concern.
Vice Chairman Palik.
Thank you.
For your concern. I guess the best way to address it is not to adopt this resolution. And then,
Speaker.
I'm very tempted to do that, Mr. Speaker.
Speaker.
I mean,
I would like us to really adopt the resolution, but if you look at our order of the day, order of business for today, if you see, there's a communication from the Secretary of Health regarding programs and projects funded by foreign financial assistance and federal program. The report is already submitted, so I think if
Yeah.
we can read that, but let's please go ahead and move on with this.
Thank you, Chairman Perman. I think that's what I mentioned when we reached that communication. I asked members to go over it because it contains the reports on those grants and programs. So, yes, thank you again, Vice Chairman Palik, for raising that concern. I think we should continue working. The UHC is one of our priority items. We adopted a resolution to that effect. And I think we need to follow through with it. And it's the responsibility of the Department of Health and Social Affairs to take the lead on that matter. And I join you in urging HSA to start looking at exploring avenues of ways and means to come up with support, financial or otherwise, for that UHC in our nation. Okay. So any further discussion? Question has been called for without objection. Discussion is closed. Let's vote. Those in favor of the adoption of resolution number 22-112, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Resolution number 112 is adopted by Congress. Next resolution.
The next resolution under the resolution calendar now is Congressional Resolution number 22-117 for adoption. CR number 22-117 is a resolution approving and accepting a $69,000 grant from the United Nations Population Fund, UNFPA, to support the health priority areas in the FSM based upon the UNFPA Pacific Multi-Country Program 2018 to 2022, including all the terms and conditions of the assistance.
I so move for its adoption.
Any second? Any second?
Again.
And moved and seconded that
Second.
Congress adopt resolution number 22-117. Discussion? Discussion. If none, without objection, discussion is closed. Let's vote. Those in favor of the adoption of resolution number 22-117, say aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Resolution number 22-117 is adopted by Congress. Next resolution.
The next resolution under the resolution calendar now is Congressional Resolution number 22-119 for adoption. CR number 22-119 is a resolution approving and accepting a grant in the amount of $368,300 from the United States Department of Health and Human Services, Office of the Secretary of Health, to support and fund the FSM Department of Health and Social Affairs' family planning program, including all the terms and conditions of the assistance.
Move for its adoption. Second.
It has been moved and seconded that Congress adopt resolution number 22-119. Discussion. Any discussion? If none, without objection, discussion is closed. We will vote. Those in favor of the adoption of resolution number 22-119, say aye. Opposed, nay.
Aye.
Motion carried. Resolution number 22-119 is adopted by Congress. Next resolution, Chief Clerk.
The next resolution under the resolution calendar now is Congressional Resolution number 22-120 for adoption. CR number 22-120 is a resolution approving and accepting a grant from the United States Department of the Interior, National Park Service, in the amount of $489,018 to fund and support the FSM National and State Historic Preservation Offices, or HPOs, for the fiscal year 2021, including all the terms and conditions of the assistance.
Move to adopt the said resolution. Second.
Been moved and seconded that Congress adopt resolution number 22-120. Short recess. Okay, any discussion on CR 22-120? Discussion?
Question.
Question has been called for without objection. Discussion is closed. Let's vote. Those in favor of the adoption of resolution number 22-120, say aye. Opposed, nay.
Aye.
Motion carried. So resolution number 122-120 is adopted by Congress. Next resolution.
The next resolution under the resolution calendar now is Congressional Resolution number 22-121 for adoption. CR number 22-121 is a resolution approving and accepting a grant in the amount of $104,350 from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Health Resources and Services Administration, or HRSA, to fund the Avisa Maternal Child Health Program for the budget period from February 19, 2022 to April 30th, 2022, including all the terms and conditions of the assistance.
Chairman Permit.
Move for its adoption.
Second.
Been moved and seconded that Congress adopt resolution number 22-121. Discussion on the resolution. Any discussion? Chairman Rousseau.
So
Yeah.
this is
From February 19, 2022 to April 30, 2022. Have we not passed this two timelines?
so this is
Sure, just subject to call of the chair.
motion to defer the said resolution to tomorrow's session.
Second.
Been moved and seconded that resolution 121 be deferred to tomorrow's session. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Said resolution is deferred to tomorrow's session. Next resolution deferred.
The next resolution under the resolution calendar now is Congressional Resolution number 22-122 for adoption. CR number 22-122 is a resolution approving and accepting a grant from the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, or UNESCO, in the amount of $16,258.55 to fund and support the Avisa Office of National Archives, Culture and Historic Preservation, or NACH, including all the terms and conditions of the assistance.
Move to top.
Second.
It has been moved and seconded that Congress adopt resolution number 22-122. Discussion.
Speaker.
Short of this, subject to call of the chair. Congress back in session per,
Yeah. Motion to defer action on the said resolution again.
Second.
it's been moved and seconded that Congress defer to tomorrow's session, CR number 22-122. Okay, those in favor say aye. Opposed, nay. Motion
Aye.
carried. Resolution number 122 is deferred to tomorrow's session. Next, resolution deferred.
The next resolution under the resolution calendar now is Congressional Resolution number 22-132 for adoption. CR number 22-132 is a resolution approving and accepting a grant in the amount of $275,841 from the United States Department of Health and Human Services, Office of the Secretary of Health, to support and fund the FSM Department of Health and Social Affairs' family planning program, including all the terms and conditions of the assistance.
So move. So move.
Again,
It's been moved and seconded that Congress adopt resolution number 22-132. Discussion. Short recess. So go up here. Congress is back in session. We're discussing resolution number
Question.
22. Question has been called for. Without objection, discussion is closed. Let's vote. Those in favor of the adoption of resolution number 22-132, say aye.
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 Motion carried. Resolution 132 is adopted by Congress. Next resolution, Chief Clerk.
The next resolution under the resolution calendar now is Congressional Resolution number 22-110 for adoption. CR number 22-110 is a resolution approving and accepting a grant in the amount of $397,192 from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, or CDC, to support and fund the tobacco control and diabetes prevention program in the FSM, including all the terms and conditions of the assistance.
Okay, Chairman Brewer.
I so move for its adoption.
Second.
Again.
It's been moved and seconded that Congress adopt resolution number 22-110. Discussion. Any discussion? If none, without objection, discussion is closed. Those in favor of the adoption of resolution number 22-110, say aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carried. So resolution number 22-110 is adopted by Congress. Next resolution, Chief Clerk.
The next resolution under the resolution calendar now is Congressional Resolution number 22-133 for adoption. CR number 22-133 is a resolution authorizing the president to submit the recommended national government comeback budget request as revised pursuant to Congress's recommendations to the United States of America under Article 5 of the Fiscal Procedures Agreement.
Okay, Chairman Figure. Chairman Figure,
Move for the adoption of the said resolution.
Second.
moved and seconded. Congress adopt resolution number 22-133. Discussion. Any discussion? If none, without objection, discussion is closed. Let's vote. Those in favor of the adoption of resolution number 22-133, say aye.
Aye.
Nay. Motion carried. Resolution number 22-133 is adopted by Congress. Next resolution, Dear Clerk.
Mr. Speaker, we do not have any more resolutions.
Okay, LC and staff, take note of all the technical corrections that need to be made to all those resolutions. You are authorized to do them.
Speaker,
Yes.
motion in recess till tomorrow at 10 a.m. Duke time.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that Congress stand in recess until tomorrow at 10 in the morning, True time. Those in favor say aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Congress now stands in recess until tomorrow at 10 in the morning, True time.